I'm the king of the castle and you're the dirty rascal. Come play with us today on the Express. On today's show, where there's fire, there's art. Then crazy guy and even crazier skis.
Every pair of skis I make, I want them.
And the making of future Olympians.
It's a great opportunity for these kids to gauge themselves against the rest of the world.
Right on course today on the Express. Welcome to the Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. And Ski Magazine ranked Whistler Blackcomb one of the top 5 family-friendly ski resorts in North America. So it's time to celebrate with Family Fun Month in Whistler. Artists have a reputation for being a bit eccentric, but lighting your artwork on fire on purpose? This Squamish resident definitely has a short fuse.
Fearlessly playing with fire. Visual artist Amber Butler lights a fuse line, hoping to catch an organic image she can use for her next painting.
Ah, cool! It jumped. It's human nature to be interested in fire because it is like the difference between life and death. Being able to control it and direct it is really kind of an interesting game.
Amber has an insatiable curiosity and naturally gravitated to art. There is definitely an element of the unknown with Amber's style, and that's what makes each piece unique and an experiment in itself.
It's always amazing as an artist to produce a piece and then to see what people's reactions are to it and their interpretation of what it is.
Amber places the background in first, sketching the image and adding any colour. She then traces out the shape with the fuse line and fixes it to the plaster. She lies the piece flat, adding the gunpowder last, wherever she wants shading or texture.
All the black line is the fuse line, and it has to be bent and fixed onto it to create the shape. This painting was really difficult to do because the fuse line is actually really stiff.
The picture of the heart used 80 feet of fuse line, causing Amber's fingers to blister as she traced out each intricate part of the pattern. She gets her own back though when she eventually sets it on fire.
The regulations to try to get a hold of some of the supplies are very strict, and it's interesting because I learned how to do this in the States, and it just kind of the States that you could order gunpowder and fuse line online and have no issue with it, and in Canada there's zero possibility of that.
It's time to move outside so that we can witness Amber's explosive art in action. The fuse line is set, all we need is some gunpowder. Get ready for an explosion.
Depending on the grade of the gunpowder, it can create patterns like grains of sand on the beach, or if Amber chooses a larger size of gunpowder, big paisley swirls imprint themselves on the pale background.
Art is where you make something and you're like, oh, I don't even know if I like that. But that's the process of maybe coming to a point where you do make something you like, and then hopefully somebody else likes it.
Yeah!
Well, I was certainly blown away by Amber's unique explosive style. In Squamish, this is Dee Raffo for The Express.
So don't try that at home, kids, but you can check out Amber's gunpowder painting classes on May 4th at Home Base Studios in Squamish. The class is $50 and that includes materials. We are going to head up Blackcomb Mountain to the Magic Castle. Apparently it's where all the kids and kids at heart hang out. You can meet some pretty interesting characters on the mountains, including Johnny Foon. Only he's not spending as much time on his skis as he'd like. He's too busy making them.
I feel like there's a revolution going on in the ski industry right now that's bringing it back to the skiers.
Custom building skis in his home-based workshop, Johnny Foon is part of that revolution, personally shaping each pair to suit the intended coastal mountain skier.
Of all the things that exist in skiing, the thing that can make you a better skier is your ski.
Despite a long history in the sport, this pioneer of big mountain skiing was still searching for the ideal ski. As the saying goes, if you want it done right, do it yourself.
I had cabinet making skills before I moved to the mountains here, and it was actually pretty easy to take those skills and just get on the internet and look at how people are building skis.
Steering away from the widely available factory-built foam core ski, Johnny takes his designs back to the roots of skiing.
The wood I use is locally sourced, comes from the forest here, these mountains, so the skis are literally riding on the mountains that they lived on.
The core of the skis is made from Douglas fir, which is commonly found in our BC forests. And according to this ski builder, it creates a strong, snappy ski with a lot of life.
I think there's way more energy put into a wood ski, way more energy exists. And the hands-on, the energy of a rider who's passionate about riding.
Take Johnny's passion for the mountains, add fiberglass, carbon, Kevlar, and a red cedar top sheet, and layer by layer, a functional work of art is created.
Every pair of skis I make, I want them. I want to keep them, I want to ride them. And if I don't feel that way, they don't leave here.
Johnny's handcrafted Typhoon series, named after his son Ty, are not only treading lightly on the environment, but he's finally found the ski he's been looking for.
I honestly think the ski allows me at 50 years old to ski better than I did when I was 25.
From the home of Foon Skis in Mount Currie, I'm Jessica Turner for The Express.
There is nothing soulless about those rides, so get out and support your local economy. Well, kids are taking over Whistler. It's Family Fun Month and there's lots of things to do.
We have ski school available from 3 years of age, so quite young, all the way up into teenage-specific programs. Great opportunity to drop the kids off with expert skiers and snowboarders. They learn a skill, meet new friends, and mom and dad can go and rip up the slopes on their own.
Do you think Rapunzel lives up here? She does? Where does she throw her hair down?
We've got two structures for people to seek out and find. We have a tree fort on Whistler Mountain and a castle on Blackcomb, and these are a great opportunity for kids of all ages to kick off their skis or board and go in and play and slide and have a great little break from the mountain.
What other princesses do you like?
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. She slept in a castle too.
One of the great things at Whistler Blackcomb for beginners or little kids, we have areas marked as family zones. So on Whistler Mountain, as you're riding up the Whistler Village gondola, they're marked by green flags, and those are areas that every guest on Whistler Blackcomb understands is a slower area. People are learning, and look out for little ones.
What's your favorite part of the castle?
The slide.
The slide. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I'll have to give that a try.
Whistler Blackcomb has been rated one of the top 10 family ski resorts in North America. We're the only one in Canada to be on that list, so quite proud of ourselves. It's a great location to come for the family for a ski vacation. Tons of things to do on and off the slopes.
Who wouldn't want to feel like a princess or a dragon here at the Magic Castle on Blackcomb Mountain? But if you're looking for things to do off the hill, the Squamish-Lillooet Cultural Centre has a family pass, and if you mention Family Fun Month, you get a discount. Today we're talking about the fabric of community, but what about the fabric of art?
Still to come, what new showing is coming out of this sewing machine?
You'll see probably about 17 pieces of mine.
And what are these two girls dancing about? Your answers are up next on The Express. Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Artina's handcrafted Canadian jewelry, 387 Water Street in Gastown and Government Street in Victoria.
Welcome back to Family Fun Month in Whistler. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald, and you're watching The Express. Judging by the squeals from the kids, they're having a great time here at the Magic Castle on Blackcomb. There's 2 ways to play. There's also a tree fort on Whistler Mountain. Next, we're going to head down into the valley, where artist Allison Hodson stitches together the delicate art of balancing creativity with business, and just in time for a new show.
I love being able to capture something that I love on camera and being able to translate that into something that's lasting.
Capturing aspects of nature today, it's step 1 of Whistler artist Alison Hodson's creative process to transform images into these finished fabric works of art.
Start with a photograph, print that out large scale, and then I cut into the photograph. So if you imagine a puzzle, like just pulling out the pieces so you're left with holes within the image, and then I cut up pieces of fabric, layer them, and machine stitch them directly into the canvas. So, you know, areas like here, that's where you'll see the original photograph on canvas, and then it moves into areas of solely fabric where I've stitched a bunch of little pieces together.
Making these pictures look more like three-dimensional paintings, Alison spends weeks and months capturing, cutting and stitching, her inspiration coming mainly from things that are old.
I am really drawn to old sort of buildings, things that already have texture to begin with. Old bricks that are sort of deteriorating from the environment, trees and bark, and all the textures involved in that. So it's a real range of subject matter.
A unique style that's earned Alison award-winning recognition in the 5 years she's been combining fabric and photography. So far, she's had work featured in exhibitions throughout Canada, done several commissioned pieces, and opened her home studio. But she says it hasn't always been smooth sewing.
It's hard for sure. You've really got to market yourself. I have my website first and foremost. I think it's important as any artist to have a website because people want to see images of your work. And a lot of artists are quite shy, and you know, I really had to work at marketing myself. So approaching galleries, taking advantage of the shows that are out there.
And Alison's hard work and creativity has certainly paid off. She's set to stage her first Sea to Sky solo exhibition, where some of her newest pieces like this will be on show.
You'll see probably about 17 pieces of mine. It's going to be solely my work, which is exciting. And on the opening night, I'm doing an art raffle, and the proceeds are going to be going to Red Cross Canada in hopes to help the people in Japan.
And from fundraising to finding artistic success, there's nothing that can stop Alison from continuing to create her image material masterpieces.
Perseverance, you gotta just like keep going. It's just a matter of trying to get yourself out there with your work and having as many people see it as possible.
In Whistler, I'm Alana Ponsoby for The Express.
Looks like that.
Allison will be raffling off one of her incredible artworks at her exhibit opening on Thursday, March 31st at My Millennium Place. Admission is free. Today, we're free to be a kid, and it's never been easier. Cross Country Connection is now hosting a family pass for $40 for the month of March. Now I think it's time for a little grown-up time. The Wedding Bells visit a blow-dry bar.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Wedding Bells.
I just got engaged.
And I did not. We're on an adventure to plan the big day. Every girl knows that you don't just wash and go on the big day. So Sarah and I headed to Blow Dry Bar for a hairdo rehearsal. There are no scissors here.
No cuts, no colors?
No cuts, no colors, and you call it the bar.
You call it the bar. We never use the S word, salon.
Am I supposed to have ideas before I come?
Sarah wasn't certain what she wanted, but the girls helped us figure it out.
Why don't you just have a little peek through there?
Hair menu. Hair menu doesn't sound appetizing, but was very helpful. You just can never quite do your hair as well as someone else can do it.
Absolutely not. And I can't do my hair at all.
I don't have a lot of hair. And you're wanting, can you do magic?
Who doesn't want long, luscious hair? Hello?
Hello. I have a flat stomach.
I'm not saying you don't.
She said that like I don't. Like, how often do brides come and get the consultation?
Well, they come once, sometimes twice, but we can usually nail it in the first time.
Her hair is not supposed to look nicer than mine.
In 12 years of doing this, I've never seen anyone upstage a bride.
Well, today's the day. And of course the girls wanted to know the engagement story.
We flew to London on New Year's Eve. All of a sudden he gets really serious. He goes, I don't want to start another New Year without you. I'm like, yeah, me neither. And then there's a box. And I'm like, what are you doing? We're in the most romantic spots in the world. And this is where you pick. Like, my bedroom while I'm taking off my socks.
Is she still telling the engagement story?
And then he got down one knee and asked me to marry him. And I thought I would cry, but I laughed hysterically. I was laughing.
And of course, Sarah wanted to know,
should I take vitamins before my wedding for my hair? Like, can I make it grow and make it stronger?
You can make it stronger by taking prenatal vitamins
That's
for your
what
hair
I heard.
and skin.
Yeah, Miss Gwyneth Paltrow said that. She has over-processed blonde hair. Oh no, I am a natural blonde.
We also found out
we come to you and we provide you with an in-home, in-suite, on-location service.
It's perfect for like all my bridesmaids and my mother.
Absolutely.
We're at like the hotel room or whatever it is, and you all come and it's like a fun little party.
It's a fun girl thing to do.
And we can drink champagne, right?
You can always drink champagne.
And now for all the single ladies. Texting is the worst thing that's ever happened to dating.
Because the minute you give in to that, that's how they think they can talk to you all the time.
Yeah, and there's a, I'll text you later, and then there's no later.
Don't play games, it's just stupid. Just, if you like
Don't play games. You know what she just said to us? You could send a text that's like a nice flirty text, and then when they call back, you go, oops, I didn't mean to send that to you. So maybe we didn't get to the bottom of text dating, but Sarah found out even with a bob, you can have a fabulous updo for your big day.
I love it, I love it.
I love it.
I do.
We came in here, we had a blast, we got to get our hair done, we got to talk about boys, we looked at magazines, all the fun things that you do when you're a girl.
I look like a bride.
For Shaw TV, we're the Wedding Bells.
The only hairstyle around Whistler these days is toque, happily so. And next, we've got helmet heads coming up. After the break, pound puppies are looking cuter than ever at WAG.
You need to turn around so everyone can see your beautiful markings.
I became a journeyman carpenter working on a Legion housing project. There's hundreds of people working on Legion-funded projects in communities all over Canada. People like me who might be out of work without them.
Why not add your voice to the community? Be part of the Legion. It's where belonging matters.
Welcome back to The Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald, and today we're celebrating Family Fun Month at the Magic Castle on Blackcomb Mountain. Now, another great place to get something to eat, or maybe even a pint. This week's road trip visits BC's oldest pub.
Travel along with us on the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip as we explore the many marvelous attractions and activities of beautiful British Columbia.
There's no shortage of pubs on Vancouver Island, each one pouring on its own character. But what if, on this road trip, you knew you were being chauffeured to the oldest pub in British Columbia?
Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome. Call me when you're ready.
Arriving in style. The 6 Mile pub in View Royal has seen it all. Pioneers, prohibition, and at one point in history there was even a brothel up top. Let me take you back to 1855. The first settlers were arriving, either logging, coal mining, or looking for gold during the gold rush. And if a rush was on back then, look at the rush we're in now. The story of this piece of property along the Old Island Highway begins when a former British policeman named Bill Parsons bought this section of land from the Hudson's Bay Company. There was a sawmill on site. Parsons built a roadhouse on the property close to the banks of the Millstream Creek. He also built a wooden bridge across the creek to connect Victoria to Souk. This modern rendition, known as Parsons Bridge, the 6 Mile House as it was then called, was a popular stop-off point. Today the pub is in good shape. Owner David Wong says it's structurally sound and that he fell in love with the pub's historic charm when he purchased it back in 2002.
Most communities would often start out with a school, a church, a hospital, and always a pub. Because, you know, in every community you sort of need a place to go to congregate, to meet your friends, to celebrate.
Wong is the 24th owner of the 6 Mile. He believes the pub is the oldest in BC based on documents that came with the building.
That it is 1855. And at this point nobody's ever challenged that. This is part of our legacy. This is a legacy of Victoria. It shows you all the way from the title deed to the original building. I've been told that the bricks for this fireplace, all this that you see here, came from the foundation of the original building that burned down.
I come from the Kootenays and spent a lot of time in Caslow and Silverton and Sandon, and a lot of old pubs up there too, but this is the oldest pub in British Columbia, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. And the spiral staircase, that always adds.
In the 1880s, the hotel became the mailing address for many of the locals. Mail carriages would deliver mail here, exactly 6 miles from Victoria, hence the name. And the Navy lads would come here as well. They used to stock up on fresh water from the creek, as well as liquor supplies from the 6 Mile.
Well, look at this. This is part of the history of the pub. That is the foundation for the outhouse that used to be here. I can never imagine how the drunks used to stumble from the pub down this riverbank to go use the toilet down there. But you see a couple of holes in the front. Apparently what happens is that when the tide comes in, it washes everything out through those big holes in the front.
During Prohibition, you could still get booze here. This place was known for rum running. And in 1924, after Prohibition, the hotel was rebuilt. And throughout the decades, a few additions have taken place. Originally, it would have seated 65 people. Today, nearly 400. And this room here is the latest addition to the 6 Mile story. Have a look at this handcrafted door that they added about 2 years ago.
We built that to be a legacy piece. Hopefully that door will last 100 years.
Wong wants to preserve this old pub and show leadership within the community. He's installing a community vegetable garden. And he also wants to revive the Millstream Creek so that fish can once again spawn here.
As owners here of the pub, we believe that we are also the custodian of this history. That's why I believe it's important for us to continue this legacy.
In View Royal, 6 miles from Victoria, I'm James Green for the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip.
Entertaining and informative, the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. Weekends on Shaw TV. Always something new and exciting.
A little closer to home, Family Fun Month is offering some great discounts for families, including Canadian snowmobile adventures and Zip Trek Eco Tours. After all, kids like to keep moving, and they like it fast. Later on in the show, get ready to cheer on local talent at the Whistler Cup. The Whistler Cup is Shaw's favorite time of year. Keep an eye out for our half-hour special this May. We'll meet some other very cool cats. New faces are up for adoption at the Squamish SPCA and Wagon Whistler.
Hi, welcome to WAG in Whistler. This afternoon I'm introducing you to Buzz. He is a playful 6-month-old kitten. He was found on the side of the road when he was a small kitten in Lillooet and has now come to us and become quite a playful, fun cat to have. He loves to purr and to snuggle, but he's also super energetic and a ton of fun. He would make a wonderful family pet. If you're interested in Buzz, come by WAG and spend some time with him. A few wonderful puppies that we have for adoption. They are almost 4 weeks old now, so they'll be ready to go to their forever homes in about 4 weeks. What they are is a mystery. They are purebred mutts, but they are very loving, very sweet, and very fun.
Hi, and thanks for visiting the Squamish SPCA. Here's some adoptable animals we have. So this is Duffy. He is about 6 months old. His name is Duffy because he came down the Duffy. He is a special needs boy. He's neutered, but he has a malformation of the bones in his leg. So he needs an indoor home only, but he loves dogs and cats and kids and everything he can think of. He's super sweet. So this is Snap. She's about 3 years old. She is a Manx. She has no tail. She's a spayed female. Her name is Snap for a reason. She has a bit of attitude, would prefer a home with no kids, no cats, no dogs. Super playful. She's quite the character. She's a pretty girl, that's for sure.
Love pets, love animals. The SPCA and WEG are always looking for volunteers to care for the Sea to Sky's cutest residents. The Whistler Dog Fest is coming to town at the World Skiing Snowboard Festival, April 23rd in Whistler Village, and all proceeds will benefit WEG. Next, as an athlete, it's easy to become result-oriented, but one Whistler coach is helping move their focus from the scoreboard to their skis.
It's easy for a kid to get wrapped up in results.
Sport development manager and K2 coach Rob Boyd sets up a training course for the Whistler Mountain Ski Club on Blackcomb Mountain. Just coming off a 6-year stint with the women's national ski team, this former World Cup medalist understands all too well the pressure young racers can face.
It's our job as coaches to forget about the results. The results will take care of themselves. And it takes a while for them to understand that. You know, you got to train the brain. It's a muscle that needs to be trained just like the quads and the legs.
An avid gymnast and grass hockey player, K2 racer Stefanie Fleckenstein's brain was the only muscle that desperately needed a workout this year.
Last year I was at the top, and then I kind of got really stressed and thought a lot about my results, more about what I was actually skiing. And so it got me a lot more tensed, and I wasn't actually skiing to my full ability.
However, the skies cleared when this 13-year-old from West Vancouver shifted her focus from the scoreboard to her skis, making way for an overall third-place finish at Provincials earlier this month.
Coming third was amazing because I've had a bad start to the season by crashing a lot. I don't really look at results anymore.
And this little dance is helping the weekend warrior put her races in perspective.
At Seymour, it was kind of like our first race where I was actually focused on skiing instead of my result. We decided to make up a little kind of warm-up thing that kind of went into a dance where it calmed me down and it calmed her down. So now we do it at every race.
Stefanie's next big event is the Whistler Cup, an international ski competition where 365 young racers and national teams from around the world gather April 8th to 10th on Whistler Mountain.
Well, the Whistler Cup it's a great opportunity for these kids to gauge themselves against the rest of the world, that age group. Expectations are really high. And you know, sometimes 13, 14 years old, it's a little bit too much to handle, and that's why you may not see the results.
Thankfully, results aren't at the forefront of this young skier's mind, leaving them at the finish line, promisingly so. Again, cheer on our Olympians of tomorrow at the Whistler Cup, April 8th to 10th on Whistler Mountain. There's going to be parades, races, and entertainment and more. Looking for other things to do with your family? The Express Spotlight has your answer. Single moms, go ahead, take a well-deserved break. Mingle with moms. Sign up for a 4-part coaching series designed just for you. Free childcare provided. The fun really starts rip-roaring when the stars come out. Young and old can take a run at the 2-park, open 7 days a week until 8 p.m. Bring a thermos of hot chocolate to enjoy afterwards at the outdoor fire pit. Every true Whistlerite is young at heart, and how could you not be with all these fun ways to play in the great outdoors? Well, that wraps up this week's show at the Magic Castle on Blackcomb Mountain. If you'd like to see your story idea on the Express, drop us a line at cityskyexpress@shaw.ca. You can also get our show on YouTube. Just search Shaw TV Whistler. Join us next week. We're going to be celebrating Twestival at the Whistler Brewing Company. So until then, from all of us on the Express, thanks for watching.
Nicole Fitzgerald's wardrobe provided by Peak Performance, hairstyling by The Loft Salon, and makeup provided by Beauty Mark. While filming on the mountain, parking provided by the Fire Rock Lounge.